Hey guys, I'm Anthony and welcome to Life with Anthony. If you are new to my channel, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. I do appreciate your time. And to all my YouTube friends out there, what's going on? I hope that you guys are doing well and continuing to stay safe as I am. This morning when I got off from work, I watched Black Opal Dream latest video titled, Please Stop Asking Me About My Kids. And I could relate to a lot of things that she said in that video because being a male, 54 years old, unmarried, and no kids, the type of responses, or more or less the type of looks that I have gotten when people ask me, am I married and do I have kids? And then I give them the double no answer. But before I get into that, let me share with you guys precisely the reason why I am not married and I do not have kids. Not once in my life that I can think of, that I can recall, did I ever wanted to be married. Not once in my life that I can recall did I ever wanted to have kids. I always saw my life as a life of freedom, a life that I can make decisions based on me. I didn't have to make decisions, and I didn't want other people to dictate sort of the way that my life should be lived. I wanted to go where I wanted to go, be where I want to be, do what I want to do, be with whomever I wanted to be with. And I just didn't like the idea of having a family and or a spouse that would kind of keep me stable, you know? And I mean stable in the sense of you have to live your life a certain way when you have others to consider. And that was just not appealing to me at all during my early years. And I knew from a very early age that having kids and being married was not in the cards for me. So that is precisely why I am not married and I do not have kids. When I started my job about a year ago, can you believe next month will be a year I've been on this job? There were about 5 or 6 people that asked me, am I married and do I have kids? And when I said no to them, gave them the double no answer, the look that they gave me was such a weird type of vibe look. You know, as if a person my age is expected to have kids or to be married. Now, looking back at that, I think to myself that, okay, different cultures think of marriage in a big way, especially like the Asian culture. The Asian culture, being married and having kids is a big deal. Their parents are ready to marry them off and ready for them to produce some grandkids, you know. But I don't think that's the case with the Black American culture. I don't think our parents were eager or pushed us to be married and have kids, at least not to my knowing of the black community. You know, and that's not speaking for all households and all people upbringings, but I think for the most part, that's not such a big deal in the black culture to get married and have kids. So, looking back at that, all of those people who asked me that question on my current job are not my culture, you know, and when I think about it, I think, okay, maybe that's a big deal in their culture. So one thing came to mind when I gave them the double no answer is that maybe they're shocked that I'm 54 years old and unmarried and have no kids, you know? And the other reason that comes to mind is that, you know, I'm gay. I don't know why or what it is about a single guy, especially of an older guy who is not married and have kids, and one of the things that comes to a person's mind is that, oh, they must be gay. I honestly think that it's a double standard because I can probably assure you with a strong arm that if a female was asked that question and she's of my age, that people don't automatically think that she's a lesbian, you know? So when I'm asked that question, I absolutely hate being asked that question because I feel like I already know the type of response that is going to come from people, or the look that's going to come from people. I personally don't think that it is abnormal for a person my age to be single and without kids and not married. And the reason why I say that is because I have a really close handful of friends that are in my age range. I mean, these are people that have been in my life for the past maybe 15 to 30 years. And I can tell you that out of that handful of people, most of them are either not married and don't have kids, or one or the other, have kids, or married and don't have kids. So for me, that's not abnormal. That's the type of people that are in my life. So I don't see that as being abnormal to not have kids at a certain age or whatever. Because I got to be honest with you guys. That lifestyle is not for everybody. Having kids and being married is not for everybody. And I don't think that people should automatically think that because you are a certain age that you should. It's not for everyone. And as far as, the whole sexuality part of it, there are many, many people, gay people, or lesbian people, the LGBT community people, who have kids, So that's not a determining factor of, okay, oh, he must be gay because he don't have kids, I just think that for me, it was never, that life was never meant for me, Because believe me, if I wanted kids and I wanted to be married, I would have had kids, and I would have been married, People who want that kind of life, they go after that life. I was never one who went after that type of life. And let me tell you guys, straight up, I'm going to throw this out here to you guys. I am no stranger to the female anatomy. I'm going to say that one more time. I am no stranger. And look at my eyes. Somebody told me I should go check my eyes out. They just water. I am no stranger to the female anatomy. I have had my share of women, some on my job. That's right, I had a couple of sham dam bam wing on my job multiple times. Again, no stranger to the female anatomy. I didn't start actually taking a really good liking to the same sex until I was in my early 30s. Prior to that time, I was dibbing and dabbing and trying to figure out who I am and what my sexuality is, as a lot of people do. And once I got in my mid-30s, that's when I really started being active in the LGBT community and going out to clubs and then going to prides and stuff like that. So I'm really a late bloomer when it comes to, I really was a late bloomer when it came to being involved in the LGBT community. I also didn't have my first boyfriend or partner until I was in my almost late 30s, So I guess it was just never meant for me to have that lifestyle, And it just baffles me every time someone asks me that and I have to say no to them, and the look that I've gotten from people is just like, okay. And when those people on my job asked me that, I just felt so awkward. It was just such a weird vibe that I got from them, because I don't know what they're thinking thereafter. And I'm not going to ask them, And this happened to me recently last week with the girl. The girl that, we're forming a little bond on the job. She asked me, she said, no daughter. We were just like hazing around or just moseying, idling around. And she just said, like, Matthews, no daughter? I said, no. No son? No. And she said, you know, she was the only one that did not respond and give me a weird vibe. It was just, you know, that was it. You know, I didn't get that look from her that the previous people that gave me. And, you know, there are single people out in the world. There are a lot of single people in the world for whatever reason. There are a lot, and there's nothing wrong with being single. And again, I strongly think that it depends on the culture that you were brought up with, you know. And as I mentioned before, those people who ask me that question on my job are from a different culture. Their thoughts on marriage and having kids are probably totally different than a lot of the Black American culture. But anyway, guys, that is what I wanted to share. Oh, another thing that I wanted to share that I think is very important, that people don't ask this question, or people don't, not ask this question, but people don't think of it in this way. I think that I'm responsible. I'm a responsible person. And the reason I say that is because I have been with multiple women before in my life, and I didn't get any of them pregnant. No kids. So I feel like I'm a responsible person because I didn't go out here and have sex and brought a child into the world and, you know, was involved in a 20-year child support type of deal and separated from the woman that oh my God, no, you guys can have that. And plus, I see so many examples in my personal life with my personal friends, not so many, but a couple that they're doing child support, you know, and going through all of that. It's just the whole idea of that just was not appealing to me at all. Alright guys, that's going to be it for today's video. Just a video of food for thought. Comment below if you feel free or feel comfortable. You know, are you single? Do you have kids? What's your thoughts on, you know, the way certain people are looked at, single people are looked at, you know, because they don't have kids and they're not married? Whatever you feel like commenting about this topic here, feel free to comment below. And as always, thank you guys for taking a few minutes out of your day to watch my videos. I appreciate you guys, you know that. And I'll see you guys the next time.